I guess I won the prank war. I guess I won the prank war. My brother Ethan and I have had a prank war going on since he was 12 and I was 15. Much to my mother's dismay, we'd owe each other one back and forth for as long as I remember. It started on accident. I knocked over a water bottle on his lap during a family vacation, but of course, I had to make fun of him for peeing himself. We didn't even make it back home before the pranks went back and forth 3 times, and it was practically cemented as the start of a lifelong war. He's been deaf since he was little, so that made him an easy target with his aids out. I'd blast porn noises from his laptop, volume maxed while he was in public, and laugh as he'd scramble red-faced to kill it when someone finally got his attention. He'd get me back, calling my girlfriend the wrong name, swearing that he couldn't keep up with how many there were, signing asterisk, jerk, and smirking a wide grin as he walked away. Everything from water buckets over his door, being retaliated with salt in my toothpaste and nair in my shampoo. We didn't have many limits, love and war as they say. I was probably his best friend. Jake, however, was mine. When Ethan had just turned 16, the jokes got a little too real. With no close friends, other than his sketchbook, he'd spend a lot of time at home or hovering around us. A quiet fly on the wall more times than not. Me and my buddy Jake, though, loud, dumb, always up for more. A few months after his birthday, Ethan crossed a line. I'd been at a party and stumbled real home late. Ethan knew the window I snuck in and out from, so when I tried opening it, it crashed down. He had removed the pins holding the window and the frame, substituting them with a few pieces of duct tape. The fucker shattered on my head, split the top of it opened, cut my arms, and scared the hell out of me honestly. My dad caught me drunk as a skunk, cussing, and covered in my own blood. Me and Jake got an ass chewing on our way to the hospital. After my dad dropped Jake off for his own punishment, I stormed into Ethan's room. Bro, I'm so sorry I did. I didn't let him finish. You're done, I yelled, signing it as I went. Prank war over. He signed asterisk sorry, eyes down, but I slammed the door. I lied though, I wasn't done. I owed him one. Ethan got us good, and even had me spill blood in our war. I was almost a little proud. It would have to be something special to pay him back on this one. Me and Jake took a few days to argue about the proper revenge. We had to go deeper for this one, no more spitballs or hacking his Facebook page. We decided to spend a little money. Jake found this side-loaded prank app on a sketchy forum. It could sync to Ethan's Bluetooth hearing aid and play sounds randomly throughout the day. Footsteps, whispers, creaks, perfect payback. I'd toyed with his ears before, but this time through, we wanted to hit deeper. I downloaded a copy to my phone to test it out. The app was worth the money. It had more options than anything we could find in the App Store. The app had 3 options: annoying, things like crickets noises, prank with porn sounds, then scary. Jake grinned. Let's make him squirm. I selected scary and was surprised with how many options it had. It would randomly play in the background, sounding like a legit noise, not even pausing whatever I was watching. We decided on only selecting footsteps, a raspy voice saying hey, creaking boards and breathing, nothing too wild. I wanted him jumpy, not traumatized. Besides, it couldn't be obvious enough that he'd catch on immediately. We paid $15 after all. I synced it that night while he slept, selecting the output as his hearing aids, and set it to trigger randomly 3 times a day. I figured it'd be enough to freak him out, maybe think his aids were on the fritz, and afterward we'd call it even. By the 2nd week, however, nothing. Ethan didn't react. He'd shuffled to breakfast, YouTube playing away as he'd sketched in his corner. Day after day, the same. We thought the app must have flopped or didn't pair. Jake and I let it go and started planning our next joke. I guess that's what you get for buying things from random people online. 3 weeks later, Ethan was dead. Mom found him, rope, a tipped chair, and no note. Just like that, my little brother was gone. I kept replaying that night, me yelling at him, face covered in cuts and lying about our war. Telling him I was done. Did I push him too far? A few weeks after the funeral, I was in his room just cleaning. There were still snacks and trash lying around, and my mother couldn't face going in there. While I cleaned, I was ensuring there was nothing he'd want me to get rid of for him, deleted his internet history, and such. I didn't find anything too surprising until I found a really damaged notebook in a shoebox under his bed. It was Ethan's journal. I honestly had no idea he kept one. I thought it was just another sketchbook, maybe one that had his more private interests, until I opened it. I realized this was where he kept his most private thoughts, and honestly, I made it 2 pages before I realized he'd never want my parents to see this. I called Jake to meet me at the railroad tracks. We opened his journal. Early pages were about him coming to terms with the fact he was different, deaf and other aspects of his life. He'd talk about feeling alone and his first crush, his first kiss, and how our parents wouldn't understand if he brought another guy home. I had no idea he was gay. So many dreams, drawings, and ambitions. As I flipped through the pages, I wished my brother would have come to me with some of these things. As he got older, the entries became less and less frequent. One thing he was always sure to log was the pranks, though. He got me with porn audio again. I convinced Sarah he was seeing his ex still. I had no idea why me and her broke up. Feeling closer to my brother than I ever did, I finally got to a few weeks ago. I'm going to rig his window, should give him a good thumping on his head. Then, he's mad, says it's over. I didn't mean it. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. I should have known that it would hurt him. I shouldn't have done that, I'm so stupid. So stupid. I could have killed him asterisk. Then nothing, just empty pages until some damaged sheets in the back. It looked like several were ripped out, but that's when I saw it. Hay gouged into the page, pencil tearing through. We kept flipping though, more hay s jagged random. Jake frowned. What's this? Kept reading. Footsteps all day, creaking. Hey, thought my aid's glitching, but it's too real. My gut dropped. The app worked, he didn't tell me. The next page. I don't want to hurt anyone. Voices won't stop. Louder. Hurt who then? Kill THEM, scratched deep. Kill your mother. I shook. That's not in the settings, Jake said as he grabbed the journal out of my hand. He kept reading as I shakily opened my copy of the app. Those weren't toggles, and I only enabled footsteps, hay, creaking, and breathing. I turned the phone to show Jake the settings, but the phone slipped from my hands. Neither of us could speak when we saw what was on the screen. Dropping the phone, I accidentally swiped to the next page. Threats active. Commands active. Clips, cut her throat, do it now. Targets, kill your mother, kill your father, burn your school. I saw where the messages carved in his journal came from. The phone laid still in the gravel. Jake paled. You didn't pick those. No, but they were enabled by default, I said through the burning tears. The last page of Ethan's journal was opened in Jake's hands. It was a sketch of himself, eyes blacked out. I'm sorry, it's too loud. I won't do it. I won't let it win. Why is it the only thing I can still hear when all should be silent? I must silence it. At that moment, I realized my prank had killed him. I killed my brother. Jake held me as I sobbed. We sat there for hours in silence, knowing we couldn't ever be honest about what happened. A joke doesn't kill people. I couldn't believe what I had done. I killed my brother. I looked at Jake and was about to speak when a raspy voice whispered from behind us. Hey! We froze. No one else was there. Did you hear that? I asked. Jake heard it too. It's been quite a few years since my brother died, and life moves on as it tends to do. I've moved far away from that town and never visited those tracks again. I burnt that journal and phone before I even made it back home. I only have my memories and guilt from our prank war. But sometimes, when brushing my teeth, I can faintly taste salt, and every now and then I hear it. A faint hey coming from behind me. I guess I still won the prank war, didn't I?